how letters built emotional depth and messaging apps built reaction speed. Why slower communication once deepened thought and faster communication changed how we respond. There was a time when sending a message meant sitting down, thinking carefully, and writing with intention. Letters were not immediate. They took time to compose, time to send, and time to receive. This delay created space for reflection. Words were chosen with more care, because they could not be edited after being sent. Communication was slower, but it often carried more depth. The delay between writing and receiving a letter influenced how people expressed themselves. Without the expectation of an instant reply, there was less pressure to respond quickly. This allowed thoughts to develop more fully. Emotions were described in detail rather than briefly stated. The process itself encouraged clarity because there was time to consider what truly needed to be said. Modern messaging platforms removed most of that delay. Messages can be sent and received instantly, creating a continuous flow of communication. This speed changes expectations. Responses are often expected quickly, sometimes within minutes. The focus shifts from depth to immediacy. Instead of fully forming ideas, people often respond in fragments. Communication becomes more frequent but shorter. When responses are expected quickly, thinking patterns adjust. The brain prioritizes speed over depth. Instead of exploring an idea fully, it moves toward the first available response. This can make communication more efficient, but it can also reduce the level of reflection involved. Over time, this pattern becomes familiar, shaping how people approach conversations. Faster communication offers clear advantages. It allows for immediate coordination and quick exchange of information. However, this efficiency comes with a trade-off. The space that once allowed for deeper reflection becomes smaller. Conversations move quickly but may not explore ideas in the same detail. The value of communication shifts from depth to speed. Letters often require describing emotions in words. Without visual cues or immediate feedback, feelings had to be explained clearly. Messaging apps introduce different forms of expression, such as short responses or symbols. While these can convey meaning quickly, they may not capture the same level of detail. Emotional communication becomes more immediate but sometimes less descriptive. Frequent messaging can also affect attention. Conversations are often interrupted and resumed throughout the day. This creates a pattern where focus shifts rapidly between topics. In contrast, writing a letter required sustained attention for a longer period. The difference in attention patterns influences how deeply people engage with communication. Despite the convenience of messaging apps, slower forms of communication still have value. Taking time to write or think before responding can lead to clearer and more thoughtful expression. It allows ideas to develop fully rather than being expressed immediately. This does not replace fast communication, but it complements it. The goal is not to choose between letters and messaging apps, but to understand what each offers. Quick messages are useful for immediate needs, while slower communication supports deeper understanding. Being aware of when to slow down can improve the quality of conversations. It creates space for both efficiency and reflection. The shift from letters to messaging apps reflects a broader change in how people communicate. What was once shaped by time and reflection is now shaped by speed and immediacy. Each approach has its strengths, but they influence thinking in different ways. Recognizing this difference allows for more intentional communication where both depth and speed can be used effectively.